Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How are y'all doing tonight? All right. Second to none. Number one in here tonight. All right. Amen. Hey, PG and friends. Hey, hey, hey to you, girl. Hey to you. Oh, look. Prayer garden number two. All right. Talking about myself in the third person. All right. Chris, you're number two. Number two. Good evening, PG. Much love. Good evening to you. Much love to you. And Randy can fix it. How you doing tonight? Good evening, PG and chat. Good evening to you. You are number three, girl. Number three. And Brandy, number four, says, hey, everyone. Hey, hey, hey to you, girl. Hey to you. And hey D, how you doing tonight? Hey PG and chat, much love to you. Laylee, good to see you. Good to see you in here. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, Chris. Good evening, everybody. Much love. Purple hearts for summer. More purple hearts for summer. Canadian cookie. That is beautiful. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you. Much love. Let me see. Hey Lisa, there's D with two E's. And Miss Prissy Pauls. Oh, that is beautiful. Stephanie, beautiful. PG, much love for summer. Amen. Amen. God bless. I'm moving down through here, y'all. Just bear with me. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Amanda, Ruby Rainmaker. I'm trying to get second to none. Says, it sure would have been nice if Ronnie Lawson or TBI would have given some kind of an update on Summer's case today. But I guess that's expecting too much. Absolutely. Absolutely. He promised, Ronnie promised, and I got receipts to show it. He promised an update, and he lied, right? He lied. We didn't get it. Um, Stephanie says summer moon. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Our bucket list has holes. How you doing, sweetie? Hello, PG Mods and Summers Army. Hello, hello, hello to you. Marlena, how you doing tonight? May the good Lord above shine his light down on earth and show us the truth on where precious Summer is, because we sure do love her and want her home. Amen. That's the truth. That is the truth. God bless. Our bucket list has holes. It's good to see you all here. Summer, we love you. Amen. Absolutely. Hey, Beagle Mom. Good to see you. Hello, PG and Summer's Army. Hello, hello, hello to you. Aw, the legendary. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Our bucket list has holes. Summer's Army. Amen. Amen. And I appreciate the beautiful purple hearts. I really do. Riding solo. How you doing tonight, sweetie? Pam, I see you, girl. Leslie, I seen you. Aw, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. Our bucket list has holes. Is on a roll tonight. She's on a roll tonight with some beautiful, beautiful prayer hands and purple hearts for summer. God bless, girl. God bless. It is beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see all of that in here. Absolutely. Oh, there's beautiful sunflower. How you doing tonight? How you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you. God bless. There you are, Beth Ann. I saw you. Carla, I saw you. River Mom, I seen you, girl. I seen you. There's Nerdy Girl. How you doing, sweetie? Hello, PG and everyone. Much love to you all. Summer deserves answers now. Prayers. Summer is found 2024. We are praying. We are praying. We are praying. I would think a lot more would have been done by now. You know, I don't like to put the cart before the horse, because I know, you know, I know how law enforcement works. And I absolutely know that things take time. You know, things take time. Um, so many, so many people get upset because, we grow impatient because we're not behind the scenes. We're not seeing how diligently, you know, they really are working to try to get the answers, or working to, even if they got certain answers, to get the other answers to go with it. Um, we don't see, you know, we don't. What I'm saying is, I know how hard it is to get a conviction, right? I know how hard law enforcement works to try to get a conviction. Um, it's not an easy task. You've got to have a lot of solid information to get certain things done. And if you feel there's more people involved in something, then you've got to hold up and try to ride down that road, so that, you got to try to gather that up as well and add it into the mix. And it's not easy. It's not, what law enforcement does is not easy. And, and it can be very, very, you know, frustrating to the people, the people out here waiting. Um, but it's not frustrating to them. It's not frustrating to them. Um, because they're in there, they're working, they're doing all they can do, and what's frustrating for them is feeling like they're being pushed to do more when they're already overloaded with, like, this particular case, and then so many other cases also coming in. They can't just stop. They have to handle everything. And I'm telling you, Hawkins County is an overload. Hawkins County is an overload. There's always so much crime there, and there's always so much, coming across the table, right? Coming across the table, and but they'll eventually get back. They always have someone, like, there is someone assigned to Summer's case. They are working Summer's case, but they could be assigned some other cases as well, and they have to work those also. And, but even if a case goes on the bottom, it comes back to the top, right? It comes back to the top. So, um, that's just how law enforcement tries to keep up with everything. And it's a process. It's a process, you guys. So, I don't want to look. I'm just as upset as everybody else, right? I'm just as upset as everybody else that more has not been done. 1,000 days? Come on, Ronnie. Come on. They should have been a lot more done in this case at the beginning. That's my personal opinion. I feel that Ronnie dropped the ball. He knows he dropped the ball, right? He knows he did. I mean, he's just some Hicktown sheriff, right? Some Hicktown sheriff that, in a million years, wouldn't have thought that people could be as evil as the Wells. He didn't have no idea that these people could be that evil. I don't think Ronnie, until now, I don't think he saw, this level. of evilness. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm sure he saw evil things, but not to this level. And he just wasn't equipped to handle it, right? Mentally, physically, financially. They just was not equipped to handle it. I mean, what people don't understand is, I know we all pay taxes, but the government drains the funds. They drain the funds. Where the funds should be going, they're not. And where they should not be going, they are. Right? That's what I'm telling you. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like this country needs to be for this country. But until the taxpayers stand up and start standing together and being a voice as one, it ain't going to happen. Until the taxpayers stand up and say, hey, we are the ones that own this country. We pay you to run it. And by God, you're going to use our tax dollars the right way, or we're going to vote you right on out of there. And you need to find a job on a lower level, right? If you can't handle the one up where you're at. Because funding needs to be going into our court systems. It needs to be going in to fund our law, right? I think you guys heard that when Trump got in there, wasn't even stocked up enough to really fight a war, right? Our military, our artillery, all of our stuff was depleted. They was not funding and putting the money where it needed to go. And, we can't have that. I mean, we can't use up everything we got protecting other people and then not be able to protect ourselves, like through the C word, right? Through the C word. We're helping another country out by letting them make the stuff that they're supposed to be sending here in order for everyone here to be able to be safe. But you know what? When the C word happened, they said to hell with America. We're keeping that stuff for our people. We don't care if it's your factory, if it's your money, if it's, your stuff. Come get it. Come get it. And then what did America do? We lost tons and tons and tons of our people. Mostly our most vulnerable people. Old people and children. Right? And a whole lot of others in between. Because we were not stockpiled to handle what had happened. We didn't have enough alcohol. We didn't have enough masks. We didn't have enough anything, right? We did not have enough of anything. We were not equipped to handle just that little bit of what went on, right? And who could you call? Who could you call? Who could you call for help? Because if I remember right, you couldn't call nobody. You couldn't call nobody. In the first days of the C word, you couldn't call nobody. I think I have just, been exposed to the C word. Well, we don't know what to tell you. We can't help you. We don't know what to do. Goodbye. Right? People run from you. People ran from you. Oh, don't come near me with that. Right? Doors went shut. Blocks bolted. Oh, stay, don't breathe in my vicinity. Stay away from me. Right? I'm going to tell you, what if it would have been, what if something happens way worse? Way, way worse. You are on your own, folks. You're on your own. Right? You're on your own. Those people are going to all run, take shelter, and worry about themselves. It's going to be fuck you at that point. I'm just saying, that's the truth. That's the truth. So, as Americans, you got to stand up. You have to stand up if you want your country to be equipped with everything needed to protect you. You got to stand up and demand it. You got to stand up and you have to demand what you want. Just like all these missing children, right? Now there's a little boy. That went to some kind of wilderness camp, and within 24 hours, he's no longer alive. Right? 12 years old. We have a child with special needs, right? A little boy, special needs, completely disappeared. Oh, we don't know where he went. Kind of like Summer's case, he's just gone. Now I hear they're looking at the parents. I don't know, but that's what I'm hearing. But we have an agency. That our tax dollars go to protect children who need protected, and they're not doing their job. They didn't do their job up on Ben Hill Road, right? They didn't do their job with Eli. They didn't do, they don't do their job, right? They don't do their job. They didn't do their job. Every time I turn around, they weren't doing their job. They didn't do their job when it came to Harmony. They didn't do their job when it came to Harmony. Harmony should not have went into the custody of someone who was a user. How her dad even got her, I don't know. If you're a user, you should have, before you can get custody, you should have to, drop clean. And then you should get random test. You have to stay in one place, stable, for 5 years, and you have to do random drug test over at least the first year or two, and you better be dropping clean. If the house isn't appropriate and you're not dropping clean and you can't hold a steady job, the child is removed immediately, up to 5 years, right? At least that would give some children a fighting chance to survive, a fighting chance. I don't know. Our laws need to be stiffer, but they ain't going to get stiffer until we, the people, demand that they be stiffer. Nothing's going to change in this world. We are the change. What I'm saying is, when someone wants something, they go out in the middle of the street, right? They go out in the middle of the street, and they hold signs up, and they lift their voices up together, and they make it to where the government and them have to listen. They have to listen. I haven't ever seen anyone. I've seen people rallying, pro-life, pro-choice, and all of this. But I have not ever seen I have not ever seen no one rallying for missing children. I have not ever seen people rallying for the voice of the voiceless. I have not ever seen groups of people showing up in places like Tennessee demanding that these children's cases be solved, demanding that CPS does their job. I have not seen this. Demanding that better and more godly people are put in in the in the higher positions, right? To oversee oversee everything, making sure that these people are doing their jobs, right? Make sure that the caseworker ain't at a restaurant having fucking lunch talking to friends on the phone instead of being at the home where they need to be. If police officers have to wear surveillance, right? If police officers have to wear surveillance, then I think caseworkers should have to wear it too. Just saying. I think caseworkers' cars should have to have surveillance. Make sure they go where they're supposed to be going, doing what they're supposed to be doing. I think they should have to wear, a like law enforcement surveillance on them when they go into the home, through the home, and so forth and so on, right? I think, I think they should. I think they should. Because, they need to be doing their job and someone needs to be monitoring it, right? I mean, right now, our government's trying to put humans completely out of work. They're trying to invent everything and anything they can to do the job so they don't need physical humans to be there doing it, right? Well, physical humans need to be there. I mean, cut the budget. It's more for somebody, I don't know who, right? We used to pay, pay tons of people to do their jobs, and the jobs were getting done. If you called somewhere, you didn't get an answering machine saying, it's overloaded with calls, press 1 and we'll give you a call back. Or, we're sorry, but the phone load is too much. You'll have to call back at a later time. Click. I mean, how in the hell was people picking up the phones all the time before all of this stuff was invented? And now they're not. Right? That's what I'm saying. What do they got? Like 2 people answering the phone instead of 20? The way it should be? Right? What I'm saying is, yeah, everything's getting wiser, but everything's getting weaker, right? Everything's getting weaker, especially the American people, because the American people are putting up with the crap. You're putting up with it. You're a taxpayer. You're putting up with it, right? I mean, they act like they're doing you a favor. They act like they're doing you a favor all the time. You go to a restaurant, they act like they're doing you a favor, serving your ass, instead of you doing them a favor coming there so their ass can stay open. Right? Boy, have the tables turned. They think they got we the people's backs against the wall. No. I walk into a restaurant and, they act like they're doing me a favor. I walk the fuck out. I'm like, you ain't doing me no favor. I can cook at home. I can cook at home. I thought I bring the kids out for a nice evening, but you know, you take that menu and you know what you can do with it. You don't do me no favor. I did you a favor when I walked in here, ready to spend money to keep your doors open. But you just lost that. You just lost that. I like to turn the table where it belongs. You know, if I had a restaurant, people came in to eat, I would be grateful. I would be so grateful. I'd be at the table greeting them, letting them know how much, I appreciate them coming in and you know, and gracing my restaurant with their presence. And I would make sure that each customer got the utmost respect, well taken care of. I would check back with each table, make sure that they were happy with the service and happy with the service they're getting periodically, right? And I would make sure things are done right. And people better be hustling their ass and don't treat the customers like you're doing them no favor. They're doing you a favor because they're letting you make a paycheck. And your ass needs to be grateful, right? What for them customers? Well, you wouldn't need those workers. I think the American people have lost a sense of how valuable you are. You've putting up with a lot, you put up with a lot of these people making you feel like there's some kind of, I would like to say God, right? Amongst you, some kind of leader or something. And they ain't nothing but a freaking worthless human like all the rest of us, right? That's what they are. They're just like all the rest of us. They get up every day, put their pants on the same way we do, right? All of us are made out of dirt. Sorry, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Every last one of us need to be humble, right? The only one I'm going to look up to is God Almighty, because he's the only one able to create a whole human. He's the only one able to create all the things around us. Everything we need every day. He created it. Nobody else. Well, of course I'm going to look up to God, right? But if you're a human looking to get looked up to, you can forget about it. You can forget about it. Because me and you see eye to eye. And that's the way all of America needs to think. That's how they all need to think. You pay taxes. You are eye to eye to every other human in this world. You are no less or no more than anyone else. And they are no less and no more than you. And you have a voice. You need to start using it. You need to start using it. Don't let people disrespect you. You can cook at home. If need be, you could grow your own food. You don't have to take nobody's shit. You don't have to pay high prices. You don't have to be took to the cleaners. And that's what they're doing to us. They didn't let that pipeline get brought in, right? They didn't let that pipeline get brought in because gas prices would be really low. And if gas prices are really low, then, transportation for stuff to get to the stores would be really low. And then they would have to give us, a discount on the food and stuff, right? They say food prices went up because of the gas. Well, I'm going to tell you, I've seen the gas prices go down and that damn food price still high, right? Food prices didn't come down. Once they start raising stuff on us, they keep it going up. minimum wage goes up, right? But so does a loaf of bread. So does a loaf of bread, right? A loaf of bread's like $5 a loaf now, right? It's like $5. I mean the good stuff. I'm not talking about the off-brand shit, right? The off-brand shit that seems to be softer than all the other bread but tastes like crap. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the good bread, that actually tastes good. It's like $5 a loaf, maybe 6. At one time they couldn't give it away. At one time they couldn't give that bread away. People baked their own bread. They didn't want your bread, right? They baked their own in their kitchen. They said, I don't need your bread. I bake my own bread. I don't need that shit. I get me some flour, bag of sugar, right? Go milk the freaking cow. Get some freaking eggs out of the hen house, and I bake my own bread. Well, at that time, you could get, I think bread was maybe a half a penny a loaf at one time, and then maybe 2 cents a loaf, and then 5 cents a loaf, and then 10 cents a loaf. A dollar used to go a long ways, right? But a dollar today is like a penny. A dollar today is like having a penny in your pocket. That dollar don't go nowhere. What the heck can you buy with a dollar? Nothing. Nothing. Right? Because if you have a dollar and you go into a place, okay, you look on your apps. Oh, they got a cheeseburger for $1. Well, go try to get it with your dollar, because they're going to add taxes on it. And your dollar ain't no good to you, because if you ain't got the few cents for the taxes, you're screwed, right? You ain't getting no hamburger, right? It's like, sorry, but there's taxes on this, right? So your dollar did not get you a hamburger. It's more than that dollar. So your dollar's like a penny to you. I just believe in telling it like it is. And until we, the people, stand together, stand up for our rights, and and start asking where our tax dollars are going, and start watching and paying attention. I mean, we're paying attention to a whole lot of stuff that don't mean nothing. We are paying attention to a whole lot of stuff that does not mean nothing. They're always trying to divide us into different little groups, right? They're always trying to divide us into little groups to fight about this or fight about that. Stuff that means nothing. That's stuff that will work itself out. It'll work itself out. But I'm going to tell you, the high prices ain't going to work themselves out. They're going to work us to death. That's what it's going to work. We ain't getting ahead. Don't give me $1 raise and then raise the bread up $1, because now you took my dollar. You took my dollar with a loaf of bread, and the bread ain't the only thing you raised. You raised everything in the store. So you took more. You took more than my dollar when I have to buy this stuff. I might as well have not got that raise. I'd have been better off not getting it, because then the prices wouldn't have went up on everything. Right? I got $1 raise, but 20 items that just went up $1. What? Right? So that's 20, and I only got one. That's 20. How am I going to pay for that, folks? I didn't get a $20 raise. I got a $1 raise. And the bread done stole that one. So how am I going to get anything else? You know, this country has done nothing but played psychology on people. They gaslight, smokescreen. They want you to believe you're getting more when you're just getting a hell of a lot less. You're getting a hell of a lot less. Yeah. You know, did you see when there was a need for toilet paper? You know, toilet paper was flying out the doors. You know, people, it's like the end of the world. Everybody's going to need toilet paper, right? End of the world. Everybody's going to need toilet paper. Unbelievable. And they jacked the prices way up on it. And then what else did they do to you? Because you better remember this. What else they do to you? They limited you on how much you could buy. There was a limit. They put limitations. The stores put limitations on how much you were allowed to buy. Right? That's what I'm talking about. You know, where's America? Where's the freedom? Where's the freedom? There's no freedom. There's no freedom. You think you're free, you're wrong. You're wrong. When people can put limitations on you, that ain't freedom. That ain't freedom. I mean, you know, I think it was a test run. Just test run to see how easy it might be to lead a big herd of cattle, right? The American people, a big herd of cattle. How easy will it be to lead all these people with limitations and everything? And I seen that it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. And I heard while they was doing it, they had all the supplies out on the ocean fucking going bad, right? They had everything that we needed, but it was sitting out there being refused to unload because they wanted a test run or something. I don't know, right? They had tons of people offering to help unload it, to distribute it throughout the United States. They had tons of people. A lot of people said, we will do it for free, right? We will do it for free. Just get the people what they need. And the answers was no. The answers was no. Oh, Deb, that is true. That is true. That is true. I seen and heard on the news with my own ears. There was news people covering it. So you're going to tell me that these news people lied about that? You're telling me the news people lied about that? That they were on the news lying about that? No. No, I can't make people see the truth. You can't make people see the truth. That's something people have to do for themselves. You have to do it for yourself. Right? You have to do that for yourself. I can't make people, see the truth. And I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to tell, I'm just going to give you the information I got. I do my research. I watch, right? I watch in all areas. I mean, I don't sit back and focus on, just my job or just, this YouTube or just, um, this cause or that cause. I sit back and I focus on everything because I have a need to know everything, right? I like to know what are you trying to take my focus off of by putting this other shit out here? What are you trying to take my focus off of? What are you trying to do? Right? Because I don't think inside of a box. You know, I don't think inside of some box. I don't like to just, live in my comfortable little world and be blind as a bat to what's going on outside. That's going to affect me. It's going to affect me. It's going to affect my children. It's going to affect, the people I love in the future, right? Like your grandkids and your great grandkids. I mean, I know that, when we go out of this world, okay, it's somebody else's problem. But though somebody else's is your family that's left behind. Shouldn't you care about that? Shouldn't you care about that? I mean, didn't our ancestors come here and fight for us to have a better future? And we do. And ain't we supposed to be fighting so that the people we love can have a better future as well? Right? Ain't that what we're supposed to be doing too? Or are we just supposed to not care? We're just supposed to not care. Well, I do care. I do care. When the Bible says they're selfish and self-seeking, that scares the hell out of me. And that is what I don't want to be. That's what I don't want to be, because I got a feeling when they talk about selfish and self-seeking, that means you're going to hell. And I personally don't want to think that I'm selfish and self-seeking. Because when I'm gone, this mother freaking life don't end with PG. It keeps going on for people I love. So therefore, I want to try to stand up wherever I can and make life better. Whether I'm in this world or not. I want to make it better, right? This world ain't my home. This world is not my home, and I understand it's nobody's home. But baby, we're passing through. And while we are passing through, we need to make a difference for the better. For the better. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I am going to do tell. I'm going to do tell some things. A lot of people might think that PG did not hear or know what's going on in the YouTube streets today. Well, I do. I know what's going on. I know that Jinx said on her live the other night, talking about her and her, funny thing, that her and her sister, supposedly are arch enemies, right? To one another. But, somehow PG sure knows how to bring them two gals together, don't I? I sure know how to bring those two gals together in love, kindness, and caring. The way they should be anyway. Right? And I brought them together, didn't I? I brought them together, y'all. Sure did. And, and I know that Jinx was over there hollering, I'm not afraid of PG. I'm not scared of you, PG. Who asked you to be? Who asked you to be? Nobody. Nobody. Right? Absolutely nobody. Nobody asked you to be scared of anyone. Girl, I didn't come at you sideways. You've been coming at me. Right? I didn't come at you. You came at me. Don't forget who came after who. And then sit there and play the victim. Well, ain't that too bad? I will be handling it, but not tonight. This is 1,000 days. Some are missing, but I do know about it, right? I'm going to keep it in my noggin, right? I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to keep it there, Jinx, because I haven't ever really been a premeditated type of person. I don't sit around and premeditate anything. She kept hollering, Summer's name, that baby's name, right? She had that baby's name up when she went mayhem like that. Well, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't premeditated. If it was premeditated, none of that would have been, up at all. But I planned on coming in, right? It wouldn't have been in the description had PG premeditated it. But I'm not like these evil humans out here. I don't premeditate ugly things against people, right? I don't do that. PG doesn't do that. Absolutely not. And I sure don't come in here, even when I am the victim. I've always been a victim, right? I haven't ever went after anyone that did not come at me first. They attack me in this chat. They attack us, right? This ain't even a me. This is an us. They attack Summer's channel. They attack PG, Summer's channel, the chat, everybody, right? They attack us. And you know what? We are the victims. We are victims. And we don't even sit over here and cry about it. We don't even sit over here and boo-hoo-hoo. Somebody hand me a tissue along with and I hope there's like a president stamped on it and some numbers in every corner. Could you make that happen, please? To help PG stop crying? Yeah. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. Right? Nope. I'm going to tell you something. We'd be the first to get drafted. Right? We'd be the first to get drafted. Right? Absolutely. Because why? We don't boo-hoo. We don't boo-hoo. Right? We don't boo-hoo. But I'm going to tell you what. I heard a bunch of that boo-hooing. I heard that boo-hooing. Acting like we're such terrible people. We're such terrible people. No, absolutely not. We're righteous. I ain't giving an apology to nobody for anything that I've said because everything I've said is true. Everything I said is true, and I can show receipts. Oh, you bet your ass I could show receipts. Absolutely. No problem. And I will be. I will be. Just not tonight. Just not tonight. Also, I'm going to pass that one up. I'm going to pass that one up because I will be coming back to it, folks, but not tonight. And I also heard Brooks, right? I heard Brooks had her live today. Well, I'm going to tell you. No, I'm not going to ever feel stupid. And I sure to hell ain't going to be giving no apologies at all. You know what you did. You know what you did in your dirty little life in the dark. Nobody told me. I was there. I heard with my own ears what went on in there. So please, don't expect an apology. You won't be getting one. I'm going to tell you what, I want nothing to do with Brooks whatsoever. Nothing. Nothing. She lied. She told me she was going to send me proof. Proof. Right? Let me see here. Let me see here, folks. She said she was going to send me some proof on Candace's wish list. She came up on this panel and she said Candace and Donald that they had a wish list with a blow up hot tub, and a bunny. And I didn't believe it. And she said, oh yeah, it was true. I'm going to send you proof. She didn't. She didn't. She lied. Right? She lied. She also, folks, was the one that spread it around that Candace wanted Hunter to come stay in her basement. No, it was Andrew, not Hunter. That's where that lie came from as well. So she lied, right? She lied. She also came on my live, and I had to take a couple of lives down because of her shenanigans, right? Because of her shenanigans coming up on here and doing some of the things she done, like making phone calls to that guy that had on Don's number, old number. He asked her to quit calling, and she kept calling him, trying to say that this man was calling them. And it was a lie, all lies. This guy got Donald's number because Don gave it up and someone else got it. And her old man was calling him. He wasn't ever calling them until they kept calling him. So that was a lie. She wanted to make it look like someone else had Donald's phone, right? She wanted to make it look like someone else had Don's phone, like maybe Tim Mullins or whatever. You know, you're running a channel out here. There's no room for lies. We need the truth to bring Summer home. Not lies like that. So she's a liar, right? She's a liar. I don't like liars. She also had that live, and she was bashing me, and she let that other lady bash me as well. I mean, there was some of you in there, and you guys know I'm telling the truth. They use my content and bash the shit out of me. Why? Because I defended someone who was a victim. I defended someone who was a victim against Purple and Tiffany Marie, who was saying some horrible things. Why are they angry that I stood up for Brandy? Right? Why are they angry? Did they not like Brandy or something? Did they not feel that she, that she is worthy to be stood up for? I didn't do it for Brandy. I did it because that's what we do out here. I did it because we stand up for all victims. And because Brandy was cleared, she is a victim. She is an innocent mother of an innocent little boy who is missing. And that's why I done it. Right? That's why I did it. And Purple knows what she did. She knows that she allowed Tiffany Marie to come up there and do all kinds. I should have not ever got as far as it did if Purple really was Brandy's friend. You shut that down. You shut that down ASAP. You kick Tiffany right away if she's about to attack anyone, especially an innocent mother of an innocent missing little boy. But Purple allowed it to keep. She kept bringing Tiff up to do it more and do it more, and she even played the tape. She even played the tape with Brandy saying these horrible things to make Brandy look worse out here in the eyes of all the people. And it shouldn't have ever even went that far. But, I'm trying to stand up for victims, and for some reason, they obviously didn't want me to, right? Obviously, this wasn't about PG. These people obviously got something against Brandy, not me, right? Because if I wouldn't have ever even mentioned Brandy, I wouldn't be going through any of this. So it's not about PG. It's about some kind of dislike for Brandy, and I thought these people were her friends. With friends like that, you don't need enemies, folks. Right? You don't need enemies. But and also, like I said, I had to take down a couple of lives. I mean, this channel don't make much anyway, y'all. Right? But every little bit helps, because it could be, it could be some ice cream I could buy my kids instead of having to dig into my pocket for the channel. But I let it go, didn't I? I let it go. I said, well, Brooks did what she did. I'm going to lose what little bit I could have had, but that's okay. Right? That's okay. She didn't care. When she was up here acting out the way she did. And I would have to take the lies, away, because I couldn't keep them out for what she done. But she, I thought, well, Brooks is just Brooks. I let it go. I didn't, it disappoints me. I mean, it's probably nothing I should have, it's nothing that I shouldn't have expected from Brooks, right? I'm not saying that, I didn't expect it, because I read people really well. Did I expect it? Yeah. Yeah, I knew it could happen, and it did. But, it's hurtful. It's hurtful when people like that, when you're trying to bring a community together as one for these missing kids, and you're trying to make it righteous, right, with the truth and all, kindness, caring, and love. It's hurtful to see someone going at you sideways. I have to ask myself, what do you got against Brandy that you don't want her, you don't want people, stepping up for her? What do you got against her? I don't know. Right? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have went and attacked people. I wouldn't have went and attacked nobody that stuck up for Brandy. I would have actually been applauding them, saying, hey, this is an innocent woman, an innocent mother of a missing little boy. And, praise God for that channel standing up for what's righteous, right? Praise God. That's what I would have been saying. I don't care how they done it. Just the fact that they were on the righteous side is all that would matter to me. But then again, I've got common sense. And I also, I also fear God, right? I also fear God. With everything in my being. I may not fear anything else, but I do fear my God. So, with that being said, I stay on the righteous side. At least try. I try like hell to do it. It isn't easy, especially out here amongst haters trying to come at you sideways for I don't know what reason. But, I didn't have to stick up for Brandy. No, I didn't. something that I did because, that's what we do here, right? God puts it upon me, I get it done. And I didn't like what those people done to her. It wasn't right. And yeah, I had my say upon it, right? I don't need to be validated by nobody to do what I want to do, right? I don't need their validation. Yeah, I did. I did. And that's how evil is. Evil tries to, you know, evil tries to make you feel, it tries to make you, you know, even though you've done the right thing, evil humans coming at you like that. Evil likes to make you feel like you don't want to do it again. You don't want to do it for no. What I'm saying is, evil wants to block someone else from from getting, you know, and stood up for like Brandy did. You know, that's what it does. Or maybe Brandy gets attacked again. You know, evil wants you to say, well, I would have said something, but last time, is it worth it? Right? So then Brandy don't get the support that she does deserve, you know. And that's what I'm saying. Somehow I feel it's not about me. It's about Brandy that they don't want support for. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I just, I haven't ever seen this kind of manipulating, um, this kind of evilness, right? These people are condescending. They act like your friend and then they stick you in the back. And, they stick you in the back. I don't understand it, right? I don't understand it. They're one way to your face and they're a different way behind your back. I don't know. And then Brooks is saying, you know, it was members only. Maybe we can pitch in and get PG. I wouldn't accept it, right? And she's like, PG could come over here and she could come up on this panel right now. That's what she was saying today, right? She could come up on this panel right now. I was on that panel, right? I was already, why would I need to come up on, for one, you have to subscribe to even talk in the chat, and I'm not going to subscribe, right? I don't subscribe to evilness. And two, I'm not going up there when I'm already there. I'm already there getting the best of them on their own panel. They were playing me, right? They were playing me, saying exactly how I feel about them, right? I mean, they were sitting there. I was on panel. I was on your panel, getting the best of you. And you guys were too ignorant to understand that. I'm like, damn, PG, you're fucking brilliant. You are brilliant. You don't even have to be there to get the best of them. Right? I'm like, damn, that's terrible. Yeah. Wow. I don't know. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. These people, these people. I'm going to tell you something. They better get up real damn early, go to, and maybe not go to bed at all, to freaking outsmart us over here. Right? You're not going to outsmart us over here. We're freaking brilliant. Summers, Army here, we got it going on. And that's what they're jealous of. That's what they hate. That's what they dislike. Well, suck it up, Cupcake. Right? Suck it up. Have another. That's what I got to say. I personally don't care. I personally don't care. But I'm going to handle that. I'm going to handle that at a later date as well. But I do know. I know everything that's going on out there, right? I know everything that's going on out there. And um, all I have to tell, these haters is I heard white boy, I heard somebody tell white boy what he could do to Candace. And I heard him tell them that they could be doing it. And what I got to say is all of you haters, that's what you could do. So if you want to know what white boy was told he could do to Candace and what he got offended about and said, no, you can be doing that, then go watch. Go watch White Boy. Because that's what these haters can be doing. There you go. There you go. Right? And Jinx says, she's so close. She's so close to the Wells. Well, you could definitely do it. You can definitely do it. If you haven't already. If you haven't already. Right? You can do it. So, there you go. There you go. But PG will be handling this, all of this, at a later date. Trust and believe me, it will be handled. No doubt. No doubt. But not tonight. Because tonight, this is Summer's 1,000 day missing. This is the night when I would have thought, that Ronnie Lawson would have already had something done today, like came out, give an update. Maybe they would have done something for this little girl that they dropped the ball and haven't done nothing to get it back in the court yet. But I was wrong. I was wrong. But you know what? We're going to go over some things. We're going to go over some things. And please, I made Summer a video. I made her a double video that I'm going to be playing out at the end of the night. So please, at the end of the night, don't run away. Stay here and stay here for her video and show her the love. Show her the love as we go out of here tonight. 1,000 days missing. It's just too long. Too long. And too many other kids are, falling in the same category out here through all of this evilness and abuse. I'm going to tell you, folks, our children are being destroyed. Our children are being destroyed. They have targeted our children. Our children have been targeted now by pure evilness. And we have got to stand up. We have got to do something to make this stop. If nothing else, we have got to get stiffer laws. If nothing else, we got to get stiffer laws put into place for people who abuse and destroy children. It's a must. It's a must. We need to stand up all across this country. All across this country. It should be across the world. But we've got to definitely stand up across this country and get something done about this. It's becoming an epidemic. It's becoming an epidemic. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. All right. This is Ronnie Lawson and a few others interviews that I'm going to be playing out right now. We're going to listen to this. Ah, that's beautiful. Our bucket list has holes. Prayers for all the missing children. Amen. Amen.
The status is the same as it was on Monday when we last held a media briefing. We're still trying to find Summer. It's now been 1 week and 2 days since she went missing. There's still two aspects of this case, the active search and the investigation. You'll hear more about the search in just a minute. TBI agents and Hawkins County detectives working alongside the FBI continue to work around the clock to determine what happened to Summer Wells. In order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, we can't discuss everything we're doing and have done to find Summer. Here's what we can.
We can't give out everything that we're doing and have done to find Summer. What? I guess you can't, because what did you do? I guess you can't, because what did you do? You done nothing. You done nothing. You got a few people up there, Ronnie. You got a few people up there and messed up the crime scene. That's what you done. That's what you done. You had a bunch of people come up there and totally mess up the crime scene, right? That's what he done. Messed up the crime scene. When they found the footprint and there was a bigger footprint by it, oh, well, they couldn't do anything with it because they had people out there searching and they didn't know if it was a searcher's footprint or actually another human's footprint that was possibly, with Summer. So, with that being said, right? With that being said, they messed up the crime scene. We all know it. We all know it, right? And what was they searching? They searched a little bit in that wooded area, right? A little bit in that wooded area. And then they came back and searched a little bit, down the road and up the road and across the road. And that's it. Wiped the sweat off their head and moved on with themselves. Right? I seen more of them standing around than were actually searching. I seen more of them standing around than was actually searching. Right? And then Ronnie says, oh, well, everybody out there, search your own property. No, Mr. Ronnie Lawson, that is your job. Anytime, for one, the Ben Hill Road community is not that big. It's not that big, folks. Right? It's not that big. You've got a few houses in there. Ronnie Lawson, when you have a missing child, it is your job to get your force together, and if you can't handle it, to call in outside forces and cover every inch of that community, knocking on every door and looking for that missing child. That is your job, sir. That is your job, and you did not get it done. You did not get it done. You dropped the ball on this little girl's case. And now you're trying to, it seems, in my opinion, you're trying to hide from it all. You're hiding. That's why you ain't coming out giving no updates, because you ain't got no update to give. You're just hiding. Right? You're just hiding. That's my opinion. And I bet I'm damn right.
I can tell you, numerous residents and individuals associated with the family have been interviewed. Surveillance video and photos have been reviewed, as well as other potential digital evidence. We're still working to identify everyone in the area on the afternoon that Summer went missing. One of you asked us in a previous briefing the standard amount of time it takes for a case like this to be resolved. While every case is different, this one is definitely outside of the norm. Typically, in an investigation like this one, we have some idea of where the case is headed and what might have happened within a few days. In this situation, despite doing everything within our power and exploring all avenues, The circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear.
Wow. Right? This case is outside the norm. It sure to hell is. It sure to hell is. You know why? Because law enforcement dropped the ball from day one. They wasn't. Ronnie Lawson is too busy being a good old boy and thinking everybody else is a good old boy. He's too busy, wanting to be play that friend thing, everybody knows everybody and type bullshit, than to stand up and be the sheriff in town. You got to stand up and, you don't mix business with pleasure. You don't mix business with pleasure. You've got to separate the two, right? When he puts that uniform on, he don't have no damn friends. He don't have no friends. When he puts that uniform on, he becomes the law. And the law don't have no friends except one called justice. And that's what he's supposed to be seeking. Right? That's what he's supposed to be seeking. But he dropped the ball. And I don't think he's picked it up yet. I think he dropped his, and here's the thing about Summer's case. They seem to make too many excuses to why they can't solve it, instead of making excuses why they can. Right? This law enforcement is not the little engine that can. They're not saying, I can, I will, I can. No. What they're saying is, we can't because of the foliage. We can't because of the heat. We can't because of this. And we can't because of that. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, lions and tigers and bears. I'm going to tell you, Ronnie Lawson, last time I read the Bible, and I hear that you are a church-going man as well. And so if you are, you must have read the Bible too. Because the last time I read it, it said that God gave man a domain over everything. Everything. Like there's nothing that can overtake a man. No animal, no foliage, no anything. Yeah. And I thought you were sending men out there, not mice. Right? Not mice. Now I'm sure the lions and tigers and bears, they would be able to get some mice. But you were supposed to be sending men out there. Men. And these men were supposed to have everything they needed to be able to take down a bear, a lion, right? A snake. Right? Last I heard, from my Bible says, the snake will bruise your heel, but you'll be able to bruise its head. That means you're able to step on it. You're able to step on it, destroy it. There's no reason that you were not out there getting what needed to be done. Right? And then come back and say, you know what? You freaking scoundrels, Don, Candace, Grandis, you all need to come downtown. Because this child ain't wandered off. We've been all over this. And that child's nowhere to be found. So you know what? Wandering off the table. Abduction's off the table. Because who in the hell is going to, who in the hell is going to be here on this freaking mudslide trying to get anything at all? You got nothing to get. There's nothing that would lead someone to come here. There isn't a beautiful home up here. There isn't nice cars up here. There isn't anything up here that would catch anyone's attention to even want to be around here. And with your scripted ass, all three of you scripted up with the same fucking story, that's mighty suspicious. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to separate all three of you. We're going to take you downtown right now. And let's see if that good neighbor that don't know you across the road can take care of the boys. Or maybe Robin, your good friend from church, can take them home with her. And because you all three are coming downtown, you're getting separated into different rooms, and you're going to be interrogated. Right? And I don't care if it takes 3 days. We're going to interrogate you until we get the truth, because we know you're lying. We know you're lying. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that. Matter of fact, Candace didn't even get up the next morning to come downtown. She had to be sent for. She had to be sent for. And while she's in the police car, she's on her phone calling Hunter. She's calling a 15-year-old little boy, talking to him like he's a grown-ass man about how all her problems and how she's being took downtown against her will in a cop car. Right? And did you bother to take Candace, and Donald's phone that very night? I mean, if you could wire Fred up, then you definitely could have took all three of their phones and used the device to download everything off them phones right then and there. Right then and there. You could have downloaded every one of them. If you didn't have what it took to download them right there, then you could have. I mean, come on. We have Tim Mullins leave the jail with Donald's phone. He goes home. He downloads the whole damn phone and then goes and gives it back to Candace, right? He downloads Tim Mullins can download a damn phone. I'm sure law enforcement could have did it too. Right. But no, these guys have their phones all night and half the next day. And then somehow, supposedly, and I don't know how true it is because it's just coming out of Donald's mouth, that their phones are, completely wiped out from 3 o'clock on. Everything's erased from all three phones. That makes me wonder if Ronnie Lawson even got the information off the phones, because it looks to me like what law enforcement did is wipe these people's phones clean instead of downloading them for the information, according to Donald. Because if they downloaded it, the information would still be on the phone. It wouldn't have been wiped clean. So are we going to hear that, well, we went to download them and somehow they didn't download, everything just wiped clean? So now we ain't got nothing there either. Something sounds awful suspicious about this case. Right? Something sounds awful suspicious about this case and law enforcement. Because law enforcement did come up there and run Mr. Dobbs, a man who has a deed to a piece of property he had purchased and had every right to be on. And, the law is supposed to say, look, this man has got a deed to this piece of property. That is his property, and he is entitled access to his property. Now, if you're not going to give him access How did the other people get access to this property? How did the original people who lived there get access up there onto that property? Because this man, if you have to give him right away, if there's no other way, but that way, and the other people were using that way, then you have to give him right away also. You can't just block his land from him. You cannot, block his land from him. This is the way law enforcement was supposed to be handling this. I don't know what to tell you, Jody, Sue, and Andy. He's got the damn deed. He owns that property. It's his, and you have to, how the other people got on it. And you're going to have to let me know so I can tell this man. That's his property. I don't care. I can't run him off. I can't run him off if he's got a deed in his hand. But, they ran him off. Law enforcement went against the law and ran a man off his own property for Jody, Sue, and Andy. I would think that Mr. Dobbs would have some kind of grievance against law enforcement at that point in time. I'm surprised he did not file grievance get an attorney and file grievance against law enforcement and that officer that actually ran him off of his own land that he was holding a deed to. That is not lawful. You're not allowed to do that. And he should have, CJ. He should have. I mean, I wouldn't have gave up on it that easy. Right? I wouldn't have gave up. Somebody's, going to answer to what they've done. And now, Andy's not there. Jody Sue's ass ain't there, right? Jody Sue's like, you let him stick one toe in my effing yard. One toe in my effing yard, right? That's how she's a-talking. And I'll tell you something. Well, you ain't got an effing yard no more, right? You don't have no effing yard no more. And that's probably why you don't. Right? God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. And that's probably why neither one of them have a yard no more. Yeah, they're all gone anyway. It didn't matter if Mr. Dobbs moved in or not, because their asses are all gone, right? All their asses are gone. Oh, he didn't buy nothing but a piece of a cliff. Well, that piece of cliff must have really burned your backside somehow, Jody Sue. You must have been jealous as hell of that little piece of cliff because you didn't want Dobbs living on it, right? You didn't want Dobbs living on it. Oh my God, did you see, PG, that Timmy is asking people to send him creative ideals they think might have happened to Summer that didn't include the parents? Yeah. How the hell are we going to send him, so he's asking people to send him a bunch of lies. He's asking people to send him ideals that the Wells might be able to use to get the focus off their own asses? Is that what you want, Tim? Is that what you want? Is people to give you ideals that the Wells can use to get the focus off their own asses, right? I'm going to tell you, Tim, I saw you down at the bottom of that freaking dog trail, that dog trail, the hill, whatever the fuck it is. I seen you. I seen you down there. And I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Tim. I also seen you having to freaking swing and dig something into that dirt in order to pull yourself up, hanging on the trees, sliding around. Come on. And you know, and even you, sir, knew that there's no way in hell anyone's going to climb up there and then slide back down with a screaming, kicking, child like Summer on their back. No way in hell. No way in hell. That wasn't going to happen. You know it. I know it. We all know it. I mean, just get that out of your mind. Get that one out of your mind. Law enforcement, and also remember, Mr. Tim, she was in the house. And let us also remember that Dom wants the basement door open. But the boy said it was locked. Candace said it was locked. Right? David Dotson was up there the very night that it all went down, Tim. You weren't. But David Dotson was. And David Dotson said that he heard the boys, all the boys say the basement door was locked. And Candace even said it was locked. So, and then Dom Wells comes out in a news interview. Let me refresh your memory, Mr. Tim.
So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked.
See there, Mr. Tim? Let me play that for you again, because Mr. Wells needed the basement door to be locked or unlocked. He says plainly in this interview, and this is his narrative because that's the narrative he wanted to use to make himself not look guilty. When people are using a narrative, Mr. Tim, when they don't really, instead of the truth, they're using a narrative that they feel they need to use, then they're probably fucking guilty, Mr. Tim. They're probably guilty. Because if I'm innocent, I'm going to be able to tell the truth. I'm not going to have to spin some fucking narrative that I think I need people to believe. Right? Unless I'm guilty. Then I have to spin a narrative like Don's doing right now. Because I feel I need to get these people to believe what I'm trying to say. To get them from looking at me. Because I wouldn't want to go to prison. Right? I wouldn't want to go to prison. Absolutely not. But let's listen, Mr. Tim.
And she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked.
Oh, see there? She went out the basement door. So she went out the basement door that was unlocked. So she went out the basement door that was unlocked. Mr. Tim, did you hear him? Now, there's footage of Mr. David Dotson that was there that very night saying that all the boys and Candace and Donald, actually even Donald, the parents, he said the kids and the parents said the door was locked, that door was not open, it was locked, Mr. Tim. So why does Don Well need to lie right now? Why does he need to spin a narrative right now to make people believe a fucking lie and be damned? Tell me that, Mr. Tim. Right? Why don't you have a question? If you want to ask people something, why don't you ask them why they think Don Wells is doing this right now? We're hearing it. We're seeing it. Why would Don Wells need the basement door to be open when indeed law enforcement knows because they talked to the boys and that very night with the parents who said the door was locked. Now, why would he have a need to do this? I think that's a better question, Mr. Tim. Right? I think that's a better question. Why does Donald want to say it's a dog trail going down to the road when Candace looked over there with Chris M? Chris said, oh, is that the dog trail over there, which is supposed to be? And she says, I don't know anything about a dog trail, but that's where the boys ride their dirt bikes down and then come back up the driveway. Right? So, of course, their scent's going to be going down through there when all their clothes are mixed together all the time and half the time not washed, and they have to put on damn dirty clothes that's been laying with everybody else's clothes. So, of course, the boys' clothes are going to have Summer's scent on them, and Summer's clothes going to have the boys' scent because nothing in that house ever was clean, Mr. Tim. So, of course, the dogs might want to go down there because the boys has been going down there, right, on them dirt bikes. So, please, stop it. Just stop it.
And we haven't seen her since. Please.
And we ain't seen her since. I call BS, Mr. Tim. I call BS. I mean, I don't call BS that they haven't seen her since. I'm sure they haven't seen her since. Whatever they did to her, in my opinion. I'm sure they ain't seen her. But Mr. Tim, I'm calling this bullshit. It's bullshit about someone coming around that door. They wouldn't even know Summer was in the basement. And there's 2 grown-ass women out in the yard and a bunch of fucking dogs. It's bullshit. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Let's stop lying. Let's stop the lies. Please. Stop it. Just stop it.
Summer will be okay. And please come home.
He says it's unlikely Summer would leave the house on her own. Wells says the last time anyone in the family saw Summer was when she entered the house to play in the basement after gardening with her mother and grandmother. Wells also...
Oh, after she was in the house, went to the basement after gardening. Oh, Donald's on the gardening too. Donald's on the garden. See, this is what I want you to pay attention to, folks. What is Don Wells saying? What is Don Wells saying? She went in the house. She went into the basement after gardening, washing hands, getting a piece of candy. Don Wells is at this interview right now, all script up, just like Grandis and Candace. The same damn narrative. No. Let's listen. There you go, Mr. Tim. Mr. Tim, the door was locked. Don needed the door to be open. Now, let us remember, Mr. Tim, that Granny and Candace was outside. They were outside. They put Summer. I don't believe Summer ever went back in the house, Mr. Tim. I really don't. I think when they called her out, she didn't ever go back in. Even if they called her out. I'm not so sure that Summer was still alive on the milk jugs. I'm not so sure that she didn't, that she didn't get took out at the swimming hole, to be honest, Mr. Tim. That's just my opinion. But Hunter and Candace was a little bit too close. And that video seemed to go off right when Hunter walked into the water. And it just seems that Granny's ass was nowhere around when all of this was going down at the swimming hole. And the next thing we know, Summer usually has to sit on a pillow because she's wet. She doesn't get clean, dry clothes on, Mr. Tim. She has to sit on a pillow because she is wet with, with whatever around her, and wait till she gets home to actually be able to get warm again and into some dry clothes. But this day, after swimming, Summer is all cleaned up, all dried up, all changed into a new outfit, completely unresponsive, laying on some milk jugs, Mr. Tim. That's what I seen. I seen an unresponsive child laying on some milk jugs. That's my opinion. That may not have even been with us anymore. And with Ronnie Lawson saying, hey, I'll tell you what, Mr. Tim, since you're so close to the Wells, why don't you ask them what Ronnie asked the lady to ask? Here, Mr. Tim, why don't you ask the Wells this question? And why don't you have a Q&A as to why they don't want to answer this question?
I do watch you though every day, you and Ziggy.
Thank you for your support, lovely.
I just appreciate everything that you all are doing for Summer. I really do. And if I tell you where I'm from, I'm afraid somebody will know who I am.
Don't do it then.
Ziggy knows where I'm from.
Well, how would they know where you're from or who you are? What do you mean?
Because I'm well known around here.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think.
I told you where I worked at.
You might have. I talked, there for a while. I was talking to so many people. I talked to a lot of people today still, but like
Oh crap, I'll just tell you. I'm from Hawkins County. Plus I'm going to tell you where I worked at too, so everybody will know.
Okay. Wait, didn't you
Police
say?
department.
Yes, that's right. You worked at the sheriff's department.
Sheriff's Department for 27 years.
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice. I already know.
I remember now. Because, yeah. When he said police department, I'm like, yep, he was right. She did work for the...
That's, yeah.
27 years I worked at the Sheriff's Department.
What did you do there? Did you tell me, or you don't have to say? It's not important.
What didn't I do there?
Did you have a question for Benny that you were wanting
to ask?
No,
I just really wanted to come up and say hi to you and say hi to Beanie because
okay.
I've never said hi to Beanie before. And
okay, well,
I want to thank you for your public service, madam. 27 years in criminal justice. That's something to be proud of, man. You did your duty. I find that as admirable as going overseas to fight for foreign politics. It's a beautiful thing.
It's rough, boys. I'm glad I'm out of it, though.
Well, you're better for it. Let me ask you a question since you're here.
All right.
You still got? I don't want to know what you still got connections with the Hawkins County. I'm sure you do, don't you?
Shoot, yeah, honey. I know about all of them.
So you know the undercurrent of what's going on. You don't have to speak on it, but do you know more than the internet knows?
No, they're hush hush. They won't even tell me. So
okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
The only thing the sheriff told me to ask you to was to find out where or what took her 4 hours to call the sheriff's department.
There you go, Mr. Tim. There you go. Why don't you ask the Wells right here? This lady, this sweet lady works at the sheriff's department for 27 years, Mr. Tim. I think she personally knows everyone there, and I don't think she has any reason to come up and lie about this question that the Wells need to be asked. So you know what, Mr. Tim, why don't you ask them that question? Why don't you ask them and then give a Q&A on why they don't want to fucking answer it? Okay? Here we go. Here's the question again, Mr. Tim, just in case you forgot what it was.
The sheriff told me to ask you to was to find out where or what took her 4 hours to call the sheriff's department.
Oh, boom. There you go, Mr. Tim. What took 4 hours to call the sheriff's department? Because 4 hours would actually throw Summer back on the milk jugs, Mr. Tim. It would mean there was no going in the house, eating, putting away groceries. There wasn't no coming out and planting flowers, washing hands, get a piece of candy, a peppermint, because that's her favorite. Mr. Tim, there would have been none of that. There would have been no going back in the house and going down the basement, Mr. Tim, whether the door was locked or it was not locked. It wouldn't have been happening, Mr. Tim. It wouldn't have been happening. What you got to say now, Mr. Tim? I don't think we want to fill out your Q&A because, from what we're hearing right now, it wouldn't do no good anyway. It wouldn't do no good anyway. 4 hours? That was on the milk jugs, baby. On the milk jugs. They're believing that something horrible was going on inside that area, like trafficking. And for some reason, they wanted or needed to take Summer out of the world for some reason. And possibly had it done at the swimming hole, Mr. Tim. That's my opinion, but that's what it sounds like from that question that Ronnie's seeking to get the answers to. That's what it sounds like, Mr. Tim, to be honest with you. Just saying. Just saying. So why don't you have a Q&A on that? Right. Right. That's what I got to say. That's what I got to say. Right. They're all scripted. Here's Granny.
Summer went swimming that day at the horse.
Summer went swimming that day at the horse pond. I think. Let's listen to her.
Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back and I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that. And Grandma, listen, Granny, and this is a view to your camper from the back of the house, from the basement side of the house, and boom, what do we see right there? As plain as fucking day. Your door where you was sitting, right there, Grandma. Your door where you was sitting, looking straight down. Nobody could have been around here. And there was a dog back in a hole who had puppies. No one would have been coming around without that dog alerting them being there. Your story has crumbled. Your story has crumbled. This is where your trailer was, and clearly that's your door, able to see all the way down through there where the basement's at. You're such liars, right? Such liars. And her ass was sitting there the whole time. The whole time she's sitting there. And Candace is there too. And of course, Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots.
Yeah, Candace came out, asked what you're doing. She didn't say, boys, watch your sister. I'm going over to Grandma's house. I'm going to make a trip through the woods to Granny's house. Make sure you watch your sister, right? No, she didn't say that. She came out and she went over there, not caring or worrying about where Summer was at that time, right? She didn't care or worry about where Summer was during that time that she supposedly over there saying, is anything wrong? Is everything okay? I just want to plant my flowers, says Grandma. Oh, well, I know who can do that with us. Bullshit.
I think Ronnie might be right. What took you 4 hours to call law enforcement? What took you 4 hours to call law enforcement? Because Granny clearly was not at that horse pond with you and Hunter. She was not. She did not get out of the car and walk that ass down there because she was not on the video. And Candace, when you're doing videos, we have all seen your videos. When you're doing videos, every person that's around is on your video, and Grandma would have been on it had she been down there, but she wasn't. And I find it kind of strange that Hunter gave you a weird look when he had his back turned. You started filming him. He turned around and he gave you a weird look, like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, he did not look pleased. And then all of a sudden he snapped out of it and tried to act like it's okay. But at first, it's like, what the hell are you doing? So, that always bothered me. That always bothered me. That look he had on his face when he turned around and stared at you. He was displeased with you filming him. Why? Why? Was it because he felt that wasn't a time to be trying to collect evidence against him? Time to be having something you could hold over him in the future? I don't know. I don't know.
Out, and then we brought the first in and put them down. And then Mom, she went and took her stuff to her house, put her stuff away.
Okay.
And then, of course, me and Summer went back over, put our stuff away.
Okay.
Now she says that her mom went and put her stuff away. Her mom. And of course, me and Summer went to put our stuff away. Where was the boys? I thought the boys were supposed to come out and be helping. It sounds like Grandma, they got out of the vehicle. Grandma took her own shit in. And it sounds like Candace got out and took her own shit in. And then it sounds like Summer might have not ever got out, if you ask me. Because it don't sound like the boys came out to help Grandma, or did they come out to help Candace? Sound like the boys just kind of stayed in the house, if you ask me.
You went back in?
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. And then we were just...
Me and Summer went back in the house.
Doing normal stuff.
Okay.
Around the house like we normally do. And I come out, Mom was sitting there at the time I come out, and I'm standing here. Okay. I was like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? She's like, these plants, I gotta get them transplanted. I was like, well, Summer will help us, so I went back in. By that time, she was sitting on the floor.
See? There you go. There you go. She acts like Grandma took her stuff in, Grandma took her stuff in, then her and Summer took the stuff in. They put it away. She looked out the door. No laundry, no anything. She looked out the door, seen Grandma sitting down, went over there. They was going to plant some flowers. Okay, so what happened to doing laundry? What happened, Candace, to Grandma taking a nap? See, Candace, your problem is you're forgetting about Grandma taking a nap. Grandma says, I took a nap. I put my stuff away. I took a nap. And then I came out to sit in my doorway. And that's when I saw Candace. But Candace, you are saying, me and Summer took the stuff in. We put it away. Then I seen my mom sitting out at her door. But then you made the laundry stuff up later. Because you had to try to fill in the gap of Grandma taking that nap. You had to fill in the gap of Granny taking a nap. Right? Something you guys weren't telling law enforcement about. Grandma makes up a nap that law enforcement don't know about. And then you have to make up doing laundry to fill in the gap of Grandma taking her nap. You guys changed the narrative. Law enforcement knows you're fucking liars. They know you're fucking liars.
floor playing with her toys.
Right here?
No, in the kitchen where we were just at.
Okay.
She was actually sitting on the floor playing with the toys at that time. I said, Summer, you want to help plant flowers? And she jumped out. Left her toys a mess, of course. That's cool.
Yeah, well, that's what kids do. It's their job.
What?
Okay.
Boom. Boom. There's Candace at the back door. What do you see, folks? What do you see? Because right there's where Candace and Grandis was. So they were right there at that door when someone supposedly was right where Candace is now, trying to haul Summer off. No, absolutely not. This ain't going to happen. Can you see? This ain't going to happen with the screaming, yelling, kicking, scratching child. And they're really going to be able to get, you ain't going to be able to see or hear nothing that close. Bullshit. Bullshit. And I'm about to prove it. I'm about to prove it, y'all. I'm about to prove it.
We walked over here and we transplanted these cactuses from the little pots that they were in. And transplanted these ones here into this bigger pot and that one into that bigger pot. And then she took the rocks that we've gotten from different gem mines when we went up to Gatlinburg and stuff.
Okay.
And she's the one that spreaded all the rocks around in here. And then she put her puppies in here. She wanted.
That's another lie. Look in those pots. It's gravel. Them are the rocks. These here are the rocks that she's trying to act like was in the pot. No. The first ones right there, them are the rocks she's talking about. In those pots was fucking gravel from the driveway. My God. I don't even want to talk
Candace
about that.
and I got up that morning. She came out and took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me. And we were afraid something was wrong with my knee. I have a knee replacement. And she was worried that there was something wrong with it. And she took me into the hospital. And I ended up getting a shot for it to get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And
we are not here to talk about your fucking knee. We're there to talk about the timeline. And then, you're supposed to say, oh, we went to the hospital. And then when I was done, I called my daughter and she was at Hunter's house picking Hunter up, right? To possibly do something sinister. Who knows? And then she shows back up at the hospital to pick me up. And then we go to Walgreens and drops off our stuff. No, actually, we stop at a smoke store first because it was more important for you to smoke, Grandma, than for Summer to get some food. And then you guys stopped at another vape shop and did some more shopping for vapes. Then you went and dropped your stuff off. That's where you guys got Twisted Tea and vapes for a minor. Then you dropped the stuff off. You still didn't get that baby nothing to eat or drink. You went to the swimming hole where God only knows what happened. And then when you leave the swimming hole, you guys stop at Sonic's, right? And got something to drink finally. And I don't even know if she was able or even up to drink. And then you pull through the drive-through, right? And about the medicines, they don't give you your pain medicine, so you got your ducky tail feathers up in the air because that's what you were really after, and the doctors didn't subscribe it for you, and you were super pissed and giving them hell about it. Like the pharmacy can give you something that the doctor did not subscribe, and you're trying to tell them they did when they didn't. Right? So you were all bent out of shape over that because you didn't get what you wanted and you got a big shot in the knee and you still didn't get your fucking drugs that you were after. That's some good shit right there, you know. Yeah, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that happened to her. And then you guys went to a grocery store, get some cold milks. That's all we saw. We don't know if there's anything else in the back or not. All we know is there was some damn cold ass milk for Summer to lay on, right? And then you guys drop Hunter off and you speed out of there because Grandbun said you had to get gone. Like you guys, you know, came by their house and didn't even stop. Hunter just jumped out and the car was still going. And then he comes in the house shaking and runs to his room, slams the door, and acts like something terrible has went down. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, right? That's what I heard. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know what made him go in a house and start rocking and shaking and run into his bedroom and slam the door. I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know. I mean, you know, he's 15 years old, right? He's 15. I mean, if you're 15 years old and Candace is trying to violate you, you're right. If something looks like Candace is trying to violate you, it might make you shake. It might make you run and slam doors. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, white boy got awful offended when someone told him what he could do to Cam, right? He's like, oh, F you, man. That's what you need to be doing. Don't you even say that. How dare you, right? Those are fighting words. Yeah. I mean, he got pretty upset about it. And, you know, he's a pretty old man himself, right? He's a pretty old man himself. Just imagine if he was only 15. I don't know. He might be, you know, he might be having some, you know, shake around, slam some doors, stuff too. I don't know. All I'm saying is something went down that made Hunter start, you know, shaking like a leaf on a tree and rocking back and forth, right? Rocking back and forth and slamming doors, trying to hide behind them. Don't sound right to me. Don't sound right to me. I mean, he was out, supposed to have a good time, you know, a good time hanging out with Candace and Grandis and the baby, and, you know, got his twisted tea and his got what he wanted, right? What would make him act like that? What would make him act like that? I don't know. I have no idea. I just don't think Grandma's ass was anywhere in sight. I don't think she wanted to see it.
Then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back and I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that.
No, Grandma. No, Grandma. The boys did not help with that. Candace said you took your own shit in. Stop lying. Stop lying. See, this is the thing. Even though all three of them are scripted, you know, supposed to be saying the same thing, they ain't saying the same thing. They're not, because it's a lie, and they really can't remember. They can't remember to keep it straight between the three of them, right? All three of them are trying to tell the same story, but they all got indiscrepancies in them due to the fact that it's scripted. It's a fucking lie.
And of course, Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing.
Do you hear the dog? Do you hear the dog? And when people were up there, remember Dawn and Candace's interview in the front yard when they were sitting out in the yard with the news lady? Remember the dog started barking and Dawn looked at it like, oh fuck. Yeah. And grandma, the dog starts barking too, right? I'm telling you, those dogs, nothing. That's why no signs of abduction, you guys. No signs. It's bullshit.
I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And we did that, and then Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in, she said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
Tell me, when you first realized that Summer was missing, what was going through your mind, and what was it like here?
To be blunt, it was hell. I mean, and I apologize, I'm blunt. As everybody knows, I have a missing daughter. She's been gone for 12 years. And all I could say is, oh God, not again. And I couldn't do nothing but cry. And we yelled for her, and we yelled for her, and yelled for her. And we could not find her. Candy was in hysterics. And we never did find her. She called 911, and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of over by the edge there and watched them. And was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them.
Bam, there you go. Praying to God that no one would take them. Lady, you hadn't even looked for your granddaughter yet. And you're praying that somebody didn't take your grandson's bullshit. Because you're not going to think, in an isolated area like that, the last thing you're going to think of is someone abducted that child. You're going to think that child is somewhere around there, and you're going to think you're going to find her. You're going to be looking high and low, and it's going to be a lot longer than supposedly you guys were looking, and then calling Donnie and all the bullshit that you did. It would have took a lot longer. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's pure shit. That's pure shit right there. You there's no way you could have been standing there praying that someone didn't take them like your granddaughter, because you wouldn't have known that someone took your granddaughter until after you have searched. I mean, and if you were standing there praying something like that, then the boys wouldn't have been out there in the first place. You would have been on the phone with law enforcement, not having the boys down there acting out a script that you and your old girl thought was going to pass the test, was going to pass the test to get cleared on. Oh, hell no. No. Sorry, y'all. PG gotta get some ice water. I get a drink of ice water. No. That is BS. Yes, no, none of them got interrogated. Grandma didn't get interrogated. Donald didn't get interrogated. Candace didn't get interrogated. Ronnie Lawson did not interrogate any of the three of these people. Ain't that weird? Isn't that weird that he did not interrogate them? That's why I said we got to get a new law passed. We got to get a Summer Moon Utah Wells law passed that every missing child's case is treated like a criminal case from the beginning. Whether they're, okay, if we find them, great. If we find them, beautiful. But until they are found, it is a criminal investigation. Get your asses out of the house, off the property. Everything is roped off. Nobody goes on it. It's sealed up and guarded by law enforcement until the child is found and an investigation has been taken place. That's what needs to be done. It needs to be done because Ronnie dropped the ball. He dropped the ball and he let too many people run around that property until it was properly gone over as a criminal case, right? It needed, it really needed to be roped off. The people on that property needed to vacate. Don, Candace, Grandis, and the boys needed to be put off the property. No vehicles or anything. Law enforcement should have put them all in police cars, right? They should have put them in police cars and questioned them. For one, they should have had to be in police cars getting questioned. Not being questioned up on the hill, but inside police cars separated. They should have had Don and Candace in one cop car, questioning them. Well, Donald in one, Candace in one, and Grandis in the other. All three should have been in the back of a police car. The oldest boy should have been in the back of a police car, also by himself. And the other two boys should have been put in one together. And then they should have had a couple officers going car to car doing the questioning, right? You stay here, let me go ask some questions to the, and seeing if they were scripted, seeing if, you know, they had different stories or they were scripted up with the same story, see what the boys were going to say. The older boy can keep the younger boys from saying stuff. So we need to get him away from the two younger ones, right? You have to split them up. You have to do everything the way it needs to be done. And then what they needed to do is have, you know, if the Wells ain't got a friend or they have not got anyone that they can, you know, call or you know, take them. I'm sure Andy would have been glad to take Don and Candace and Grandis and the boys to a hotel. But if they don't have a friend or anyone that can take them out of there to a hotel, then law enforcement should have provided a couple police officers up to take them to a hotel and drop them off until the investigation on the hill was over. No one on the hill at all. You got to come off of there, and you come off right now. Right? As soon as they arrived. Grandis and Candace should have been put in the back of police cars, and they should have waited for Donald to get there and put him in one. And the two boys and the other boy should have already been in one. I mean, that's the way it should have been. I mean, that's the way I would have handled it. And I had told the officers, nobody's going up there on that hill. Nobody is going up on this hill disturbing anything, because we need to get fingerprints lifted off that basement door inside and out, right? We need to get fingerprints off of Grandma's camper. We need to, you know, to look over the whole premises for, you know, to see if we need to figure out if any of these vehicles have been washed or cleaned. We need to see if there's any water that they have waited to let dry up, right? We need to check the ground to see if they have washed anything away. There's a hell of a lot. We need to get a strobe light in there. We need to get a strobe light inside this place and outside. See if there's any, you know, any massive amounts of, you know, the child's DNA anywhere. That's Grandma's camper, you know, the ground, the inside of the house, the inside of all of those vehicles. We need to get the search dogs up there and get the search dogs working. I mean, I would have wanted everything that I could get as an evidence. And then, you know, people could start coming back up on the hill once we got everything we needed. But if they wanted to check the woods, they would have had to go into the wooded area from off the street, right? You have to go in from off the road, not off the property. That property needed to be roped off and gone over with a fine-tooth comb. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And every one of them vehicles needed to be tore apart. I mean, Ronnie Lawson should have been calling in all the extra help he could get from outside that community to come up there and go over. I mean, he could have got people to come in to do nothing but go over them cars with a fine-tooth comb. He could have got people to come in to go over nothing but that house. He could have got people to come over in to go over nothing but the land, right? He could have worked it a hell of a lot better than he did. But Ronnie's too busy trying to be people's friend instead of, what he is, sheriff, law enforcement. That's the problem. And, and that's why we are on 1,000 days today, and Summer has not been found. We're at 1,000 days, and Ronnie Lawson, it cannot be found, right? Where's Ronnie? I know we're asking where Summer is, but damn, where's Ronnie? That guy ain't even supposed to be missing. He ain't even supposed to be missing. So where is he? Where is he?
And there was no sign of her.
Do you believe that someone took Summer, or do you believe that she wandered off? What do you believe happened?
I believe somebody took her. I know people.
No, you don't, Grandma. No, you don't. No, you don't. You got the hots. You got the hots for a couple old ladies you were talking to. And you told them about you taking the nap, which law enforcement didn't know because you didn't tell law enforcement, which I don't even think you did. And then you also, Grandma, you also said to one of these ladies, oh, and Candace left about between 3:30 and 4 o'clock and took Summer to Donnie. Summer wasn't feeling well, and she took Summer to Donnie, is what you supposedly said. So how are you going to say, oh, you think somebody took her? You said your daughter did. It's what someone told. Someone said, you said that your daughter's the one that took her.
Say it doesn't happen, but it does happen. It happens in small towns. It happens in big towns.
And that's right. That's right, old lady. In towns where there's lots of people. Right? Not up on an isolated fucking hill with a couple old bitches sitting outside hearing, seeing, and knowing everything. And a ton of dogs. Come on. It don't happen there. It
happens in the country. And I believe somebody took her.
Oh, I do too. Exactly who you said, or supposedly said, took her. Your daughter. Yeah. Get off the panel. I can't stand to look at you again. You just make me angry.
Okay, I'm gonna film around this side. No, around this side. No, around this side.
What do you see? The camper right there. Right there. Now listen to this door.
No, around this side. No, around this side. No.
You hear that noise? Remember that noise. Remember the noise from that door.
Took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid.
There you go, folks. There you go. You see Grandma looking? Did you hear her hear a door shut? Did you hear her hear a door shut? And she went looking, right? She went to looking. Nobody came up there. Grandma, you got big ass ears. And right there, you just proved to everyone that no one came up there and took your granddaughter because you were outside, and look how fast you was checking out that noise. And if someone seriously came up there and tried to grab a 5-year-old screaming, kicking, biting, scratching child, there is no way that your ears would not have heard it. Someone just shut a door and your ass was like, who? Whoa, what's that noise? Who did it? Who did it? Right? Yeah. There you go, Tim Mullins.
So took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid. So took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid. So
there you go. There you go. Case proved, right? Case proved that there's no way her and Candace was right there where you could see down to that door that made that loud noise to shut it, for one. There's dogs would have been barking. And they were, and Summer would have been kicking, scratching, and screaming. And they were sitting right there. No. Ronnie Lawson is right. Ronnie Lawson is right. No signs of an abduction, y'all. None. Whatsoever. None. Right? Tim Mullins needs to just stop it. He needs to just stop it. You know, I do not understand for the life of me. I don't understand for the life of me why anyone would want and fight and lie to hang around with evil human beings like Dawn and Candace. I do not know what these people think are so great about being friends with these sinister, evil human beings that are number one suspects in their own missing child's case. I don't understand. I do not understand it. I won't understand it. I won't even try. You know, regardless, in my opinion, I believe they had all to do with what happened to Summer. That's my opinion. I will keep it. I think they had all to do with what happened to this baby. All to do with it. And you know, that's their sin. And they will have to answer to God. They will have to answer to God for that. Right? They'll have to answer to God. God knows all. God knows all. But I think God has brought this to the light enough. I think God has brought this to the light enough to open all of our eyes to the fact that whatever happened to this little girl, them, Dawn, Candace, and Grandis, them three were involved. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. But I think God has opened all of our eyes enough to see that. Why these people like Tim Mullins and White Boys and Day Days and Jinx and these people want to affiliate themselves with that type of evilness, I don't know. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care anymore. That, you know, is their own issue to deal with, right? That's their own issues right there to deal with. They too will have to answer to God. They too will have to answer to God, because due to the fact that you cannot affiliate yourself with the Wells without doing evil to other people for them. Dawn and Candace won't keep you around if you're not willing to do their evilness, attack innocent humans that you know that they want you to attack. What Dawn and Candace does is they want people. They like to get people like Cam and Allie, Benny Keys, you know, them kind of evil people to, you know, associate themselves with in order to get these people to go at Summer's army. You know, I don't like, so Dawn and Candace, tell these people, feed these people a line of shit. These creators are using our daughter. They're making money off the back of our daughter. No, Don Wells. No one out here, no creator who is truly for missing children are making money off the back of your daughter. They are making enough to keep their channel running so they can cover missing children and expose fucking evil like you. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're not making no money. They're making enough to keep these channels running so the voiceless will have a voice. And that is what your evil ass doesn't want. You don't want Summer to have a voice. So you tell these evil people these kind of things, and you mention certain creators because you know that those are the ones that these evil humans will attack for you. Oh, so you don't like Justin talking about Summer. Well, you know what? Don't worry about it, Don. We'll take care of that. So they start going after Justin to please and appease little Don and Candace, because for some reason you and Candace feel like you're big time shit, and that you can use these creators to do that because they think that you're something you're not. And you don't even know why they think you're something that you're not, but they do. And you're going to utilize it to get what you want. Right, Don? Absolutely. Now, Jinx says, oh, PG doesn't even talk to Donnie no more. Let me tell you something, Jinx. I don't fucking want to talk to pure evilness. Unlike you, I don't give a damn about Dawn or Candace or Grandma. You know what, bitch? I was in there at the beginning and I got all the shit you didn't. You know what I got? I got a full understanding of how sinister these son of a bitches were. I got a full understanding, Jinx, that these people, yes, are sinister enough to do whatever happened to that little girl. I, Jinx, got all the information you didn't. And not only that, Jinx, but you know what? I got tired of laughing with the fucking whales. At bitches like you. At bitches like you. That they can bring up there, use the fuck up, and roll off the hill. I'm sure when they roll you, it's going to be timber, right? I'm sure of that. That's the words that somebody better let out. Watch out below. Watch out below. Okay, there'll be a new path. The one you rolled down. That's all I got to say. But I'm going to tell you something. I know. I was there when it happened. I'm the one that was right there that they was laughing at people like you about Cam and Allie. I knew about Cam and Allie coming up there. I knew what they supposed to be doing and wasn't doing. I knew they were going to get used up or booted. They got both. They got used up then booted. I tried to warn these people. I tried to really warn them. And all I got on my back was hate. Because evil people like you do not want to listen to the truth. You don't want to listen to righteousness. Because you're a sinister fucking person too. And you want to believe what you want to believe. Well, so did Cam and Allie. There you go. There you go. And I'm going to tell you, Jinx, Don Wells don't ask, oh, how's Jinx doing? He asks us, oh, what's PG up to? Right? And I bet that burns your fucking ass. I bet that just burns your fucking ass. All right. Trust me, if I wanted to talk to Don and Candace, I would have no problem getting it done. None. Whatsoever. None. Right? But I'm not going to talk about you today, Jinx. Not today. No, I'm saving that for another day. Saving that one for another day, baby. You know, I haven't ever been one of them like I said earlier, I ain't a premeditated person. Haven't ever premeditated anything in my life. Right? I always just I figure God's going to put my feet wherever they are. So that's how I live my life. Wherever they are, that's where they are. And whatever I do and say, that's what I do and say. But you know what? I guess I know what I'm dealing with now when I'm dealing with you. You're a premeditated person, just like the Wells. You make plans and then you try to carry them out on people. How freaking sinister is that? That's pretty sinister if you ask me. But you know, your words just let me know what I'm dealing with. That's all. Your words let me know what I'm dealing with. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to plan a little live to talk about some other things. Yeah. To clear things up. I'm going to clear the air, baby. I'm going to clear the air, but not tonight. Maybe not tomorrow night. Maybe not the next night. I don't know. See, I ain't good at this, so I'm still planning. Right? PG ain't good at that shit, so I gotta still plan. I don't know when it could happen. I just know it's gonna happen. Sometime it's gonna happen, you guys.
Summer Wells, Tennessee girl missing after 2 years. Summer Wells vanished from her Tennessee home on June 15, 2021. Family believes she may have been abducted, taken down a hill behind home. Her parents passed polygraph tests, were previously center of investigation. Rogersville, 10 News Nation. It's been 2 years since 5-year-old Summer Wells vanished without a trace from a small town in Tennessee. On June 15, 2021, Summer's parents said she was helping her mother and grandmother plant flowers before going inside their Rogersville home to play with her toys. Then, out of nowhere, Summer vanished. That was the last time her mother said she had seen her daughter. I yelled downstairs for her a couple of times, and I didn't get an answer. Which was unusual because usually she always answers me, so I went down there to check and she was nowhere inside, she was just gone, Summer Wells' mother Candace Wells said. Her family believes Summer may have been abducted, taken down a steep hill behind the home, possibly to a waiting car along the road. I know in my heart and in my mind she was abducted, Don Wells, Summer's father, told News Nation.
See? Candace, she's just gone, abduction. Grandis, she's just gone, abduction. Donald, she's just gone, abduction. These people, this was all premeditated, pre-planned, carried out June the 15th, 2021. You know, they're all scripted the same, right? They're scripted the same on everything that went on before Summer came up missing. They're scripted on, you know, every single little detail these people are scripted upon. And they're still messing up. They're still screwing it up, right? They're not too good. They're not too good at, you know, at keeping their lines. They're not too good at keeping, what they make a plan and then they fucked it all up. And, but the biggest telltale that it was premeditated and carried out June the 15th, 2021 is the simple fact that Don started driving the different vehicle, which he never didn't do before. He didn't do after. He did it for 2 days. He drove the white truck, all the time before. Candace had that new car. He didn't drive it. And then after 2 days, the day before and the day Summer came up missing, after that, Don went back to his white truck and's been in his white truck ever since, right? He's been in that white truck ever since. So that allows you to, and he fires his coworker and to blame it on. And boy, he really did blame it on him, right? I mean, it was like, boom. First thing he said is, I think it was my coworker. I just fired him. He's upset with me, right? He thought for sure that Dudley might be somewhere that he couldn't prove he was and could go to prison, right? Could go to prison. He was banking and counting on everybody blaming this on Dudley. Now, here's the thing. And another reason I think it was pre-planned and premeditated is due to this. The night before, they go looking for Mr. Dobbs, right? Andy, Jody Sue, Don and Candace, trust me, all of them go looking for Mr. Dobbs. Now, had they found Mr. Dobbs, would law enforcement have found a shoe around the hotel that was Summers, or maybe something of Summers inside the truck if it was open, or maybe something on the ground by the truck that belonged to Summer, right? Or under the truck? We don't know. We don't know, because thank God Mr. Dobbs went to a hotel where they had no idea he was staying at. But you got to wonder, what the hell was they doing looking for this man that, that was gone, had no intentions of coming back? Why would you go look for him? Why would you go look for this man? Right? There you go. And, oh, well, that would implicate Jody Sue and Andy. Well, didn't Jody Sue make up a lie for Candace? That Candace felt that Jody Sue could change? Didn't Candace contact Jody Sue and say, hey, you need to change the time of that scream because it's not fitting the timeline? Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. And her and Jody Sue was also having a full-blown argument because for some reason, Jody Sue felt entitled to half the money Candace was bringing in from all of these supporters, right? She felt entitled. Why would she feel entitled? Why would someone feel entitled to someone else's support for their missing child? How does that work? So, there's a whole lot of sinister shit in all of this, right? And from what Fred says, Andy was seen on video footage in and out of that holler that day, right? In and out of that holler that day, right about the time that Candace had her ass out on the road and was seen by Chad, right? And right about the time that, Candace and Grandis would have been arriving back into that area. Right about the time they were arriving back into that area, right? So, what I'm saying is, if indeed all of this took place, here's my question. Did they traffic off a living child on June 15th, 2021? Or did they hand off an unlive child from the milk jugs? That's the question. That's the question. Whatever, whether Summer was alive or unlived, whatever happened June 15th, 2021, with Donald changing up the vehicles and Donald hiding and Donald doing all the shit that Donald was doing, and firing his co-worker to blame it all on, I would say they all knew what was going down. You know, it was planned. It was planned. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. And it seems like it's law enforcement's opinion too, because law enforcement's already told you, no abduction, off the table, and no wandering off. If she would have been out there, we'd have found something. So, that leaves foul play in play. Foul play in play. Let us remember that.
Someone snuck up there and we were not exactly paying attention. And we don't know if they came in the basement and grabbed her or if she stepped outside the basement and was walking to her swing or something. 2 years after her disappearance, that's still all that is known about the last time Summer was seen. We will be discussing this case in a live stream Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Join the conversation by submitting a question on this page and we'll answer it during the stream. Almost immediately, Candace and Dawn became the center of an investigation but were never named as suspects. Police remained tight-lipped about Summer's case, and there haven't been any real leads or developments. Recently, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation released an age-progressed photo showing what Summer would look like now. They said there is no new information to make public, but they are continuing to chase down leads in the case. The Wells said they have had to move from their tight-knit community of fewer than 5,000 people because of all the threats and harassment they received. The Hawkins County Sheriff said the Wells have cooperated, but there is no evidence that Summer was kidnapped or abducted. We have not ruled anything out. Everything is possible, Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson said. Both Candace and Dawn passed a polygraph test, but Lawson's statement that everyone is still a person of interest is leading some to wonder if the Wells may know more than they've said. She is a good mother. She loves her children, Dawn said about his wife. She is not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is choosing some wrong friends. When asked if any of those wrong friends have anything to do with Summer's disappearance, Dawn said, "We don't know." Dawn said he was limited in what he could discuss about the family and the case.
Now, when there was a news person that came out trying to say that Dawn and Candace and them passed a polygraph, and Ronnie Lawson came out right after that, Ronnie came out and said, "If you do not hear it out of my mouth, do not believe it. If you did not hear it out of my mouth, do not believe it." Now, if you remember that, put a 1 in the chat. If you remember Ronnie coming out saying, if you do not hear it from me, do not believe it. Yes, he did. Because Dawn and Candace and Grandis did not pass no fucking polygraphs. No, they didn't. That's my opinion. But that's my opinion because right after that newsman said that, Ronnie came out and said, if you don't hear from me, don't believe it. So Ronnie's letting you know they didn't pass shit. There you go. Yes, absolutely. He did. I remember it. I remember it well. Trust me. I was there when that one happened.
Social services took Summer's 3 brothers from the home shortly after Summer's disappearance, and the Wells have not been able to communicate with them in half a year. We love our daughter with all our hearts, Dawn Wells said. "We miss her. We will do anything to have her back in that church with us she so loves." Summer's father pleaded guilty to driving under the influence in 2022. Candace also filed an order of protection against him but then asked for it to be dismissed. Dawn currently faces criminal charges in 3 states, including a domestic assault arrest in 2020.
There is no proof of them passing a polygraph. There is no proof of them ever passing a polygraph. Ever. Candace lied to White Boy. She told White Boy she was going to get, Fred had no problem, right? He had no problem showing everybody where he took the polygraph and the results of it. If Don, Candace, and Grandis would have passed a polygraph, trust me, Cher would have done showed it. Benny Keys would have done showed it. Half of these creators that they have been fucking with would have done showed it. Just so they could get the support out here from all the YouTubers the way Brandy and her husband are. They would have showed it. Trust me.
Everybody.
And not only that, but law enforcement would have came out and said they passed. They said that, law enforcement said Brandy and her husband has been cleared. Law enforcement, if they would have passed, Ronnie would have clearly let everyone know that. He has no reason not to. The only reason he hasn't said anything about them, he's not going to tell you they didn't pass, because then, then that would put, that would be a problem, right? That could be a problem. So he's not going to do that.
He makes mistakes, Dawn said. He sat down with News Nation to discuss where Summer's case stands today. "We're doing better," he said. "It's still very rough for my wife." Candace hasn't sat down for an interview since an appearance on Dr. Phil in 2021, where she walked out of an interview in tears. During the 2021 interview, she said she felt she was being interrogated again and didn't want to do the interview further. Since
Big red flag. Big red flag, you guys. Big red flag. I don't want to be interviewed. I'm being interrogated. Oh, you're interrogating me. I'm going to tell you something. If you're innocent, you can't be interrogated. You can be asked questions, right? You can be asked questions, but you would want to answer them. You would want to answer anything you want to. And even if they wanted to interrogate you, interrogate me. Do your damn best. Interrogate the hell out of me, but find my child. Right? If you're innocent, you don't give a damn what they're doing. Just do whatever is necessary, but find that baby. Right? No mother's going to sit there and say, oh, you're interrogating me. That mother's going to say, bring it on, bitches. You need to find my child. You need to get off your ass. This is your job to do. You're telling me what not to do. Well, I'm going to tell you what you need to be doing. Right? You don't want me running out there in the woods while you get your ass out there and get it done. What do you mean you're leaving for the night? If you think my child's in that woods, you need to have that ass with some lanterns out there in those woods finding it. Right? Or else you could tie a rope around my ass and I'll be out there finding it myself. If it was your child, you wouldn't give up. So don't do any less for mine.
Summer's disappearance, Dawn said their life has been consumed by harassment from people online who believe they are responsible for whatever happened to Summer. Before you know it, you're getting a mob going, Dawn said. My wife could go to the store and somebody would scream at her. Like, baby killer, or whatever. He sent News Nation videos from one of his job sites where some people were demanding to speak with him about his missing daughter. He said it got so bad that he had to leave the state. Now, the two live in a motel in Arkansas where Dawn was able to find a new job. As for Summer's case, her father said they have a private investigator working with the police.
And he lost that new job because he was hanging around the hotel doing substance abuse to the point he couldn't go to work, in my opinion, and lost that job and had to take that ass back over into Tennessee, right? And wasn't allowed to be out of Tennessee again.
The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is still working alongside the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, but both agencies declined interviews with our team. Don said he hasn't learned anything new from law enforcement either, but has always said he believes Summer was abducted. Nothing pointing to abduction, nothing pointing to foul play, other than her walking outside the house and not being found, Lawson had previously stated. There was also a key tip from a neighbor in 2021. A woman and her teen children told police they heard a scream about an hour before Summer went missing. Wish every day that when I heard that scream I didn't try to dismiss it, the witness said. But the sheriff said after multiple interviews, the tip led nowhere. One clue police are still looking for is a pickup truck that was seen in the area around the time Summer vanished. Detectives said they are looking for a red or maroon pickup truck with ladders on the back, but Lawson admitted he's not even sure it is connected to the case. Summer's father told News Nation that he still holds on to hope. I do have hope. You know, I have hope in God. He's in control of all things. And so whatever the outcome is, I have hope in God, and one day, either sooner or later, I will be with my daughter again, Don said. While the sheriff declared.
Now, Don said, one day, sooner or later, I'll be with my daughter again. Well, I guess that answers, that kind of answers. Ronnie's right. I think Ronnie's right. Why did they wait 4 hours?
Declined an interview. He emailed a response saying he expects to have an update on the case in the near future. In the near future definition and meaning. If you say that something will happen in the near future, you mean that it will happen quite soon.
Yeah, Ronnie, you said in the near future. Buddy, the near future has, I don't know, I understand that, 1,000 years is one day to God and one day 1,000 years. But Ronnie, we go off of human time, right? And the near future to us is like, the near future, a week or two, maybe a month. And when you said that, whoa, buddy, this ain't near future. This is fucking overtime. This is overtime. No. Summer's missing 1,000 days today. Why did you not come out and at least acknowledge her case? Why did you not come out and at least just acknowledge it? That you're still working on it. That you do care. We expect more out of you. Being law enforcement, we expect so much more out of you. And you're giving us nothing. Nothing. This little girl's counting on you. Yeah, we're all counting on you. But she's counting on you even more. Where the hell are you? Where are you? Because I know that's what she's saying. Where are you? You need to get it done. It's sad that they are not doing more. I mean, it sounds like law enforcement knows. It sounds to me, he said, why she wait 4 hours to call law enforcement? It sounds to me like they know pretty much exactly what was going on. They said that, they don't believe she was trafficked outside the area. That means they believe she was being trafficked inside. I believe that they believe that, and it's somewhat what I believe as well. They believe that some reason, they needed to get rid of her. They don't think she was on those milk jugs. From what the lady that worked with Ronnie for 20 some years, from what she was saying, if she's telling the truth, then that means Ronnie believes that Summer was not with us on those milk jugs. And if Summer was not with us on those milk jugs, and they believe she was trafficked inside that area, then they believe that she had to be taken, she had to be taken out for some reason. She had to be taken out for some reason so that they wouldn't go to prison for what they were doing. It could be a lot of things. I don't know why someone would do what they've done. Right? I don't know. But it sounds to me like either in my opinion, she was either taken out at that swimming hole, or she was trafficked. But either way it goes, I believe that it was pre-planned, premeditated, and carried out. Dom Wells knew whatever was going to go down that day was going down. Any way it goes is what I believe. And I will continue to believe that. And I'm sure law enforcement believes that as well. Now, where the case leads you and all the information you have, you could pretty much know exactly what happened. But proving it is a whole different thing. You could solidly know what happened. But to be able to prove it to a jury without a shadow of a doubt, that's not easy. That is not easy, folks. Especially without a body, right? Especially without having the body. So I think that they are continuing to diligently try to figure out where Summer could possibly be. That's what I believe they are really seeking to find. Because then they could definitely prove their case. Even if there's nothing left but bones tell a story. Bones can tell a story. But a lot of times what, I've actually seen people who believe someone, oh, there wouldn't be nothing left of that person. And when law enforcement found them, they pretty much were untouched, right? They were pretty much untouched. On some by some miracle. Maybe from the cold or from the deepness of the ground or something, they were pretty much untouched. So, let us pray Summer is found at some point. Let us pray that she is found at some point. And, if not, I really want her to be. I truly want her found. She truly deserved to be laid to rest. This kind of evilness is super bad. But it's even more evil to deny a child a proper burial. Right? I think there's a special place in hell for that alone. For just that alone, there's a special place in hell. Not letting a child be properly buried. To make other children be tormented the rest of their lives, blaming themselves for something that they had nothing to do with, and hindering them from knowing where their sister is. That's a special kind of evil. It takes a special kind to do what has been done. But that's a super special kind of evil. To traumatize 3 children and destroy their whole future. Especially when these are your children. Right? Especially when they're yours. Parents are supposed to love and protect their children. You're supposed to be the one keeping evil away from your children. But so many parents are doing the evilness. So many are doing what they're supposed to be keeping from being done to their child. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm going to tell you, it's lack of education. It is the biggest lack in all is education and having get up and go. People who abuse their children are fucking uneducated and lazy as hell. They're too fucking lazy to work, too lazy to do what it takes to put the roof over their child's head, clothes on its back, food in its mouth, and love, kindness, and caring in its heart, and a good education in its mind. They're too lazy. They're too selfish, self-seeking, self-centered. Those are the people who abuse and do evil stuff to their children. Yes, we do. We do live in a very sick and evil world. That we do. But like I said, every human that is a child of God's, every one of us understand this is not our home. This is not our home. We're just passing through. We're just passing through so God could figure out if we are worthy enough to live forever with him and Jesus. Or if we're not. And then you live for eternity in a place that you're going to wish to God you didn't ever know nothing about. People complain. I hear people all the time saying, oh, this is such a hard life. Nobody said it's going to be easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy. This is a hard life. But I'm going to tell you what. It's heaven compared to hell. This life right here is heaven compared to hell. You will not go through. You won't know. You won't ever know on this earth. No matter what happens to you. You will not ever know the pain, the misery, how brutal it is, as it is in hell. You ain't felt no pain like hell will give you. You ain't felt no misery like hell will give you. You get a little dose here. You get a little dose. You've been thirsty, but you can get water. You've been in pain, but you can get pain medication and doctors and help with that. Right? You've been through a lot. But man, it ain't even a drop in the bucket to what hell for eternity would be. Because in hell, you ain't getting a drink of water. In hell, you ain't getting no pain medication. You're just going to get more pain added on to you. They ain't, they ain't no getting out of it. You ain't going to be able to just die and get away from it. Die and rest till the Lord comes. Because the Lord ain't coming back in there once he shuts the door. That's going to be no more. Ain't even going to be a thought. So, I think people need to really work diligently to get to the next life. That's where I believe Summer already is. Where I think Eli is. It's definitely where Quentin is. Right? It's where Harmony is. It's where the little Boswell girl is. It's where all these children that this evil has destroyed already is. Those children are not in no pain. There ain't no tears. There's no pain, no suffering, no anything anymore for them. We're suffering because we care. We love them and we miss them and we wish all of these evil things wouldn't have happened to them. We're suffering. But they're not. They're not. And we are not a bunch of witch hunters trying to, seek justice against innocent people. No, we're not. We're trying to seek justice against evil humans so that they will be locked away and cannot destroy no more children. If you ask me, Don and Candace should have been locked away a long time ago because they got away with abusing a ton of children before they abused this 4 and one totally disappeared. They should have been locked away for abuse long before now. And what kind of world we live in when they're still free after doing all they've done to 4 more innocent children? What kind of world do we live in? They haven't ever had to pay for none of the evilness, none of the suffering and pain that they have caused any of these children that did not deserve what has already been done. Those children in Wisconsin didn't deserve to be done like that. The baby in Arkansas didn't deserve to be done like that. Don's children up in Utah didn't deserve to be done like that. His sisters didn't deserve to be done like that. And those 3 little boys and Summer, who's completely missing, didn't deserve to be done like that either. So how in the hell can you call these kind of monsters a friend? How in the hell could you act like you worship the ground that sinister people like this walk upon? How in the hell can you go sideways and attack God's children for this type of evilness? I don't know. I don't know. They know not what they do. Or if they do know, they're just as evil and don't care. That's the only answers I have for it. Right? That's all I can say. I live and breathe this YouTube world out here, it seems like. When I'm not here, I'm researching. I'm putting together content. I'm making videos. I'm doing all I can to help these children. And all I get in return is pure hate. People coming at you sideways. People attacking us who are voices for the voiceless, or they're attacking the voiceless. They're attacking the children, or the children's parents who have been cleared, right? Who have been completely cleared. One or the other. They're constantly doing. So, with that being said, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I just think it's terrible. I think it's absolutely terrible that so many children are disappearing, being abused, and it's like nobody cares but us. It feels like this is a little community out here where nobody, especially where Summer's concerned, it seems like no one cared about Summer but us out here in this community. It seemed like nobody inside that area that had any type of pull where something could be done cared enough about her to get it done. Ronnie Lawson, Pruitt, TBI, FBI, it seemed like none of them were really diligently working to crack this case. It's like they didn't care. We're almost 3 years down the road. And they don't even want to address this case anymore. They don't even want to, they just, like they want it to go away. If they don't talk about it, it'll go away. People get tired. Like everything else, and this case will go away. That sounds like what they're waiting for. It really does. It's like no one cared about what happened to this 5-year-old little girl but us and her 3 brothers. That seems to be the only ones that are seeking the answers. If law enforcement would be seeking the answers as diligently as we have been, they would have already figured out what the hell happened and had some convictions. Right? That's what I believe. That's my opinion. So, I don't know. Like I said, keep the prayers going up for Summer. Please, keep the prayers going up for Summer. Because I'm going to tell you something. Hawkins County law enforcement seems to be pure crap. They seem to make promises they can't keep. It seems like they lie. Ronnie said I'll be out in the near future, and he hasn't been out yet. So, it's like untrustworthy, right? Untrustworthy. And the only thing that's going to crack Summer's case is God Almighty. That's it. You want Summer found? You better start praying, and you pray hard and pray with a lot of faith. Because I'm going to tell you, that's the only thing that's going to get this done. It's it. That is it right there. Maybe you can take time. Let God know that you took time to maybe stop by a church. Stop by a church. If the door is open, go in and pray. Go in and pray for this little girl. If it's not, bow down right where you are and say, Lord, dear Father, the door is locked, but I'm here to pray for Summer Moon Utah Wells. Please let us find her, because this is how much we want her found. Show God your faith, and God will show you that Summer can be found. So if you want her found, do what it takes to get her found. Show God your faith, and knowing He can get it done. There you go. That's the answer. Because it don't seem like anyone else, it can get it done. All right, you guys. I'm going to pull out of here for tonight, and I'm playing Summer's song out of here. Like I said earlier, I know what's going on out here in the YouTube world. I will be addressing that. I will be addressing that. Right? I will. But not today. Today is not today. Today is a day for Summer. Today is her day. Today is the day to send them prayers up and let God know how much you love this child. How much you don't, not that you want, but need her found. You need her found. Her brothers need her found. She needs to be found. She wants to be found. So pray that she is found in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. And pray for one another. There is so many people needing prayer. So many. Right? So many. So keep those prayers going up for one another. You know, we should pray for everybody. I know that's hard. I know it's super hard, right? Especially for haters. But you know, Jesus said, you know, we need to do what he wants, right? We got to do what God wants, not what we want, right? We can't follow what we want because they said follow Jesus, right? So, as hard as it is, folks, please pray for everyone, not someone. Have a forgiving heart. I don't have a problem forgiving people, but I'm not going to forget. You know, first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me for allowing it to happen again. Right? That's how it is. That's how it is. First time someone does something to you is shame on them. But if you allow it to happen to you again, that's shame on you. It's okay to forgive, but don't open yourself up to be treated like that no more. All right, you guys. PG's heading out of here. God bless. Much love. Good night. I'd like to see the love and support going up in the chat for Summer's video tonight. The video is made up with all the kids, all the missing kids in it. That has been coming up missing, so what, and so on. So when you throw up the hearts tonight, can you please throw up all different colors for these different children? Some of them like blue, some like pink, some of them likes purple. These are kids that loved every color, like the rainbow. So, and green is awareness. Is awareness for child abuse. So please throw up the hearts with all the colors as we go out of here tonight. And please stay till the end of the video. If you can, please try to hang out till the end of the video. I see a lot of people have already bowed out, right? They've already bowed out. That breaks my heart. But hey, for the ones of you left, God bless. Please throw up them hearts. you. I want to thank you all. Thank you all for staying till the end. God bless. God bless. May God bless each and every one of you. In the name of Jesus. Amen.